Good evening. Tonight, a royal revelation has captured headlines and sparked conversation across Britain. According to emerging reports from royal commentators, a bold decision made by the late Queen Elizabeth II before her passing has reportedly resulted in substantial benefits for Carole Middleton and Michael Middleton. The move is said to have surprised palace insiders and is fueling discussion about legacy, family dynamics, and the strategic foresight of the late Queen. Tonight, we examine the story behind the headlines, the implications for the Middleton family, and what it could mean for the monarchy in the years ahead. Royal commentators describe the late Queen's decision as unexpected yet calculated, consistent with her reputation for prudence and forward thinking. While official palace spokespeople have not commented, multiple sources suggest the Queen took steps to ensure that Catherine's parents would receive recognition and security following the rise of their daughter into the public eye. This development reportedly includes arrangements tied to trust funds, property considerations, and access to certain privileges within the royal sphere. Analysts note that the Queen rarely acted on impulse. Every major decision was often layered with strategy, symbolism, and an eye toward stability. The surprising aspect, insiders say, lies in the inclusiveness of the move. It extends beyond immediate royal family members, benefiting relatives who historically maintained private lives away from palace operations. Carole Middleton and Michael Middleton have long been regarded as a stabilizing force in Catherine's life. Their guidance during her early years and continued support throughout her transition into royal life has been noted by biographers and insiders alike. The Queen's move reportedly provided both tangible benefits, financial or otherwise, and symbolic recognition of their role within the broader royal narrative. By doing so, she reinforced the connection between the House of Windsor and the family that helped raise one of its most prominent new members. Royal observers highlight that such gestures are rare. While monarchs routinely plan succession and manage estates, extending benefits to in-laws or non-royal family members is exceptional. The move underscores the late Queen's awareness of evolving family dynamics and her willingness to adapt traditional boundaries to reflect modern realities. Queen Elizabeth II's reign was marked by careful attention to precedent and tradition, yet she demonstrated remarkable pragmatism. Past monarchs often maintained rigid separations between immediate royal family members and extended in-laws. By contrast, this recent revelation reflects the late Queen's recognition that royal influence now intertwines with private families who play key roles behind the scenes. It is also part of a broader pattern. Throughout her reign, the Queen sought to balance public duty with private generosity, often in ways invisible to the public eye. This approach resonates with prior examples where she personally acknowledged key figures in the upbringing of royal children. However, extending benefits to Carole and Michael Middleton signals a new level of consideration for modern familial ties. The news has reportedly sent quiet ripples through palace circles. Observers suggest that senior royals, including King Charles III and Prince William, Prince of Wales, were made aware of the late Queen's arrangements in private briefings. Some insiders have expressed surprise at the scope of the benefits, while others interpret the decision as consistent with her long-standing values of loyalty, discretion, and fairness. Analysts note that this revelation may also reshape public perception of the royal family's relationship with the Middleton family, emphasizing collaboration and mutual respect rather than hierarchy alone. Carole and Michael Middleton's influence extends beyond family support. Their company, Party Pieces, demonstrated entrepreneurial success that predated Catherine's marriage into the royal family. Sources close to the family suggest that the Queen's move acknowledges both personal loyalty and the example the Middletons set as parents managing public attention while maintaining private dignity. Royal historians point out that such recognition is not just symbolic. It reflects an understanding that modern monarchy relies on partnerships with families who ground and guide future heirs. In this context, the Middletons serve as essential advisors, mentors, and stabilizing figures. Some experts argue that the timing of the Queen's arrangements was deliberate. By providing security and recognition before her passing, she ensured that the benefits would not be subject to reinterpretation or dispute after her death. The move can also be read as a reinforcement of continuity. With the transition to King Charles III's reign and the growing responsibilities of Prince William, Prince of Wales, ensuring the Middletons' position strengthens family cohesion, it also subtly sends a message: loyalty, support, and guidance are valued and remembered, even by the sovereign. Social media has been alive with discussion since reports surfaced. Many commentators praise the late Queen for her foresight and kindness. Users highlight how the decision humanizes the monarchy, presenting the sovereign as mindful of the extended family that supports the heirs. Others are curious about the practical aspects. What form do these benefits take? Are they financial, ceremonial, or tied to property and access? While speculation is rampant, royal aides have maintained discretion, emphasizing the private nature of the arrangements. Beyond the Middleton family, the Queen's move signals a broader shift in how the monarchy interacts with non-royal relatives. It may set precedent for future generations, emphasizing the importance of familial support networks in sustaining public roles. It also reflects the evolving nature of royal communication and image management. In an era of global media scrutiny, gestures toward extended families provide narratives of stability, continuity, and emotional intelligence, qualities increasingly prized in modern monarchies. The Queen's decision carries symbolic weight. By recognizing Carole and Michael Middleton, she honors the foundational role that families outside the core royal line play in shaping public figures. It suggests a monarchy attentive not only to tradition, but also to practical human realities. Such gestures contribute to the broader legacy of Elizabeth II, a ruler attentive to institutional duty, yet aware of personal relationships and the softer threads that bind family and monarchy. What does this mean for the future? First, it reinforces the Middletons' continued influence within the royal narrative. Their guidance will remain central as George, Charlotte, and Louis mature under public scrutiny. Second, it may subtly influence public perception of the monarchy's accessibility and relatability. Recognizing the role of parents who are not born into royalty bridges the gap between institutional authority and everyday experience. Finally, it demonstrates that even within centuries-old traditions, there is room for adaptability and personal judgment. In sum, the late Queen's bold move, granting tangible and symbolic benefits to Carole and Michael Middleton, illustrates foresight, discretion, and an understanding of the complex networks that support monarchy. It surprises palace insiders, pleases royal observers, and captivates the public imagination. Most importantly, it underscores a truth about Elizabeth II's reign. She combined the weight of centuries-old tradition with an ability to recognize and reward those who contributed to the strength and stability of the monarchy in modern times. From this one revelation, we gain insight into how the House of Windsor navigates the balance between duty, family, and legacy, showing that even in moments of private generosity, the ripple effects are felt across the palace and the nation. As the monarchy continues under King Charles III and prepares for the future of Prince William, Prince of Wales, gestures like these serve as subtle reminders. Even in the grandeur of royal life, foresight, family loyalty, and personal consideration remain paramount. Late Queen Elizabeth II's reign was marked not only by ceremonial authority, but also by her understanding of the monarchy as a network of relationships, responsibilities, and symbols. While much attention has historically focused on direct heirs, the Queen's influence often extended quietly to those who supported the family behind the scenes. Carole and Michael Middleton, parents of Catherine, Princess of Wales, have long been regarded as stabilizing figures. Their guidance was instrumental during Catherine's formative years and in her transition into royal life. Unlike many families adjacent to royalty, the Middletons navigated their new prominence with discretion, balancing public curiosity with private integrity. It is within this backdrop that the Queen's reported move must be understood. Sources close to the palace have described it as both calculated and generous. It was not a spontaneous gesture, but one grounded in foresight, acknowledging contributions to the monarchy while ensuring continuity and familial cohesion. While official details remain confidential, multiple royal commentators have pieced together a picture of the Queen's arrangements. Reports indicate that the Middletons received a combination of symbolic recognition, practical security, and possibly financial or property-related benefits. Historically, monarchs have seldom extended tangible benefits beyond immediate family members. Gifts, inheritances, or appointments typically favored children, grandchildren, and select extended family within the aristocracy. For the Queen to act on behalf of the Middletons is therefore notable, suggesting a deliberate acknowledgement of their central role in supporting Catherine and, by extension, the monarchy's next generation. Royal historians note that Elizabeth II often preferred subtlety over public fanfare. Previous examples include quietly ensuring housing arrangements or trust funds for long-serving staff and allies. In this case, however, the beneficiaries are not palace employees, but relatives by marriage, a distinction that adds layers of complexity and intrigue. Before Catherine's marriage to Prince William, Prince of Wales, Carole and Michael Middleton were private citizens managing a successful family business, Party Pieces. The company, which specialized in party supplies and events, showcased their entrepreneurial skills and commitment to family. As Catherine's prominence grew, the Middletons adapted, becoming adept at navigating media scrutiny, public curiosity, and occasional intrusions into their private lives. Their balance of visibility and discretion earned them respect within royal circles. Royal commentators suggest that the Queen's move acknowledges this careful stewardship. By formally or informally recognizing the Middletons, Elizabeth II reinforced the idea that loyalty, guidance, and discretion are rewarded within the family's extended network. Insiders emphasize that the Queen's actions were deliberate in timing. Arrangements reportedly occurred in the final years of her reign, ensuring that benefits were secured before her passing. Such timing reduces the potential for misinterpretation, legal complications, or disputes after her death. Timing is critical in royal affairs. With the transition to King Charles III underway and Prince William, Prince of Wales gradually assuming greater responsibilities, ensuring that key supporting families are acknowledged preserves both public confidence and familial stability. It is also possible that the Queen recognized the need for subtle yet firm reinforcement of the monarchy's human networks. By protecting the Middletons' position, she ensured that Catherine's immediate support system would remain intact, even as the family navigates the pressures of public duty. The palace reportedly experienced quiet ripples following the revelation. Senior royals, including King Charles III and Prince William, were reportedly briefed in private, and sources describe reactions ranging from surprise to acknowledgement of the Queen's foresight. Analysts suggest that the move may recalibrate internal perceptions of influence within the family. Extending recognition and benefits to in-laws signals a nuanced understanding of family dynamics, acknowledging contributions that are less visible but no less critical. Royal commentators note that in a time of heightened media scrutiny, such subtle gestures reinforce stability and continuity. They also offer a window into Elizabeth II's careful balancing of tradition and modern familial considerations. Queen Elizabeth II was not the first monarch to quietly manage relationships with extended families. However, few have acted with such strategic subtlety. Historical examples often favored peers of the realm or long-standing aristocratic allies. In contrast, this move situates the Middletons as a modern parallel, private citizens whose role became essential to the monarchy's continuity. By honoring their contributions, the Queen acknowledged evolving family structures and the necessity of cooperation between royal and non-royal households. Analysts highlight that this decision reflects a modernizing monarchy, one where merit, guidance, and loyalty are recognized alongside bloodline and title. Once the news surfaced, public reaction was swift. social media and news outlets debated the significance of the move. Supporters praised the Queen's generosity and foresight, noting that such recognition humanizes the monarchy. Some commentators framed the move as a subtle strategy to reinforce the Middletons' role in supporting the future king and his siblings. Others speculated about the nature of the benefits, financial, ceremonial, or property-based, though palace aides have emphasized privacy. Importantly, the news offers a relatable narrative. Across the country, families recognize the value of guidance, mentorship, and loyalty, principles the Queen applied at a grand scale. Beyond tangible benefits, the Queen's move carries symbolic weight. Including Carole and Michael Middleton in her final considerations demonstrates an acknowledgement that the monarchy does not operate in isolation. It signals that extended family members who provide support, stability, and counsel are valued. This approach aligns with contemporary understandings of family networks, contrasting with historical royal practices that often prioritized bloodline alone. The symbolism is particularly poignant given Catherine's high-profile role as Princess of Wales. The Middletons' inclusion reinforces a narrative of continuity, partnership, and mutual respect, qualities increasingly central to the monarchy's public image. The move may have long-term implications. By securing recognition for the Middletons, the Queen created a precedent for valuing extended families in supporting royal heirs. For George, Charlotte, and Louis, it models the principle that loyalty, guidance, and care are acknowledged. It also signals to future generations that monarchy depends on collaboration, not only within the palace, but with families who help shape heirs' upbringing and character. Observers suggest this approach could influence how future monarchs engage with non-royal relatives, balancing tradition with practicality and modern values. Royal historians note that such moves, though invisible at the time, carry enduring influence. By strategically supporting the Middletons, Elizabeth II reinforced both institutional stability and relational continuity. It is a quiet lesson in leadership. Influence is not only about decree or ceremony, but also about foresight, discretion, and recognition of those who contribute behind the scenes. Carole and Michael Middleton are known for maintaining discretion in public matters. They have historically avoided commenting on palace affairs, focusing instead on supporting Catherine and her family. According to sources, they were humbled by the Queen's reported arrangements and grateful for the recognition. While they have maintained their private lives, this gesture further cements their role in the royal narrative and underscores their continued importance as anchors for the Princess of Wales and her children. This revelation reflects the Queen's understanding that monarchy is about networks, not just bloodlines. It also illustrates the importance of foresight in leadership, preparing not only for succession, but for the stability of relationships that sustain the institution. As the monarchy transitions under King Charles III and Prince William, such examples provide a roadmap for balancing tradition, family dynamics, and public expectations. It also highlights an evolving monarchy that recognizes merit, loyalty, and discretion in addition to title. The Queen's consideration of the Middletons demonstrates a nuanced approach to governance and family management, blending compassion with strategic insight. The late Queen's bold move, benefiting Carole and Michael Middleton, reveals a monarch deeply attuned to both family and institution. It surprises palace insiders, delights royal observers, and provides a compelling story for the public. More importantly, it illuminates Elizabeth II's philosophy. The monarchy thrives not only on tradition, but on the relationships, loyalty, and guidance that shape the next generation. By acknowledging the Middletons, she reinforced stability, continuity, and humanity within the institution. In the grand narrative of the House of Windsor, the decision demonstrates that influence is measured not only in crowns and titles, but in foresight, respect, and the quiet power of acknowledging those who support the family. For historians, royal watchers, and the public alike, the revelation offers insight into a monarch whose vision extended beyond her lifetime, ensuring that even after her passing, the network of care and influence she cultivated would continue to benefit the institution and those who sustain it. The story of the Queen, the Middletons, and the lasting impact of her calculated generosity reminds us that monarchy, at its best, blends duty with humanity, tradition with pragmatism, and authority with foresight.